What happens when a legendary singer who spent 5 decades commanding stages walks into a talk show hosted by a woman who never backs down from controversy? When Chaka Khan sits across from Joy Behar on The View, what begins as a simple interview quickly turns into one of the most explosive confrontations. The smiles fade fast, the tension cuts deep, and what starts as a tribute turns into a brutal face-off daytime television has ever seen. Trust me, this talk show won't disappoint you. It'll be worth every second of your time. The show starts like any other morning on The View. Music, laughter, applause. The lights are bright, the mood is warm, but under all that, there's something tight in the air. Chaka Khan walks out looking like the legend she is, glowing in her deep purple outfit, smiling as the audience cheers. Chaka Khan came to The View that morning for what was supposed to be a lighthearted interview. To celebrate her 50 years in music, talk about her new tour, and share a few laughs with the hosts. It was meant to be a tribute to a living legend, a feel-good moment honoring one of the most powerful voices in soul music. Whoopi Goldberg stands and gives her a big hug, while the other hosts clap. Everyone seems genuinely happy to see her, except Joy Behar. Joy doesn't move from her chair. She's sitting at the far end of the table, pretending to smile, fingers tapping her cue cards like she's waiting for her moment. "Welcome back, Chaka," she says, her tone sweet but sharp. "Let's see if you're still singing the same tune today." The audience laughs nervously. Not the fun kind of laugh, the kind that says, "uh-oh." Whoopi shoots Joy a side eye, but Joy just smirks, like she knows exactly what she's doing. Chaka smiles, polite but firm. "Well, Joy, I've been singing a long time. I think I know my tune pretty well." The audience claps again, but it's clear something's already shifted. The smiles are there, but they're tight. Joy doesn't waste a second. "So, 50 years in the business, that's impressive," she says, flipping through her notes. "Most people your age are retired by now." A few audience members laugh, but it dies quick. Chaka tilts her head, smiling calmly. "Music doesn't retire, Joy. It just evolves." Joy leans back, pretending to agree. "Sure, unless it gets stuck in the past." Chaka's smile fades a little. Her eyes shift, steady, controlled, but colder now. "You know, Joy, I've been evolving since before talk shows were even talking." The audience oohs. Even Whoopi bites her lip to keep from laughing. Joy laughs too, but it's forced. "Oh, I'm just teasing," she says, waving her hand like it's nothing. But it's not nothing. Everyone can feel it. That slight tremor before a storm. Joy's tone, Chaka's stare, the fake laughter. It's all building into something bigger. Whoopi glances toward the control room, half joking, half worried. "We might need a commercial break early today." The crowd laughs again, but the energy has changed. The warmth is gone. The segment was supposed to be about Chaka's new anniversary tour. The legacy shows, the music that shaped a generation. But Joy Behar had other plans. She flips through her cue cards like she's looking for something, but everyone can tell she already knows exactly what she's about to say. Then with that signature smirk, she fires the first real shot. "You said in a recent interview that today's artists don't have real talent," Joy says, her voice sharp and loud enough to cut through the studio noise. "Is that what you really think, or is that just bitterness talking?" The audience shifts uncomfortably. Whoopi exhales softly, like she saw it coming. Sarah Haynes takes a sip of her coffee, trying not to get involved. Sunny Hostin looks down at her notes. It's safer that way. Chaka doesn't flinch. Her tone stays calm, but her expression tightens. "What I said," she begins slowly, "is that the industry today focuses more on image and social media than on pure artistry." That's not bitterness, Joy. That's just a fact. Joy lets out a laugh. Short, fake, and sharp. "Oh, come on, Chaka." That's just code for back in my day. Admit it. You think the new kids just aren't as good as you. The laughter in the audience dies out fast. Nobody's comfortable anymore. Even the camera operators move in closer. They can sense it too. Something's about to explode. Chaka leans forward, her eyes locked on Joy. Her voice is low, controlled, but her words hit like thunder. "Joy, I've spent 50 years building something real. Not chasing followers, not begging for clicks. There's a difference. Joy doesn't blink. And there's a difference, she snaps, between being relevant and being nostalgic. The audience gasps. Whoopi mutters under her breath, "Oh boy, here we go." It's not an interview anymore. It's a showdown. Right there at the table. The energy shifts from awkward to dangerous. Chaka sits back, crossing her arms. You know what, Joy? It's funny how people who've never made music love to lecture the ones who actually have. Joy's smile fades. She leans in, refusing to back down. And it's funny how some legends can't handle hearing that times have changed. The audience reacts, a mix of gasps and whispers. Whoopi looks straight into the camera, eyes wide like she's silently telling the viewers at home, "Yeah, this is happening live." Chaka doesn't blink. "Times change, Joy," she says, her tone now cold and razor sharp. "But respect shouldn't." The crowd goes dead silent. Joy opens her mouth, but for the first time, she doesn't have a comeback ready. The tension is thick enough to choke on. By now, the tension isn't just in the air. It's alive. Every person in that studio can feel it pressing down, waiting to break. Joy leans forward, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "You sound like every bitter artist who can't accept that the world's moved on." Chaka blinks once, then fires back without hesitation. "And you sound like every loud critic who's never created anything worth remembering." The audience gasps. Everyone knows they're witnessing a viral moment. The camera operators move in closer, zooming tight on their faces. Joy slams her note cards onto the table. "You don't get to insult me on my show." Chaka leans in, her tone cold and cutting. "Then maybe act like a host, not a heckler." The crowd explodes. Whoopi mutters, "Oh, hell," under her breath as she looks off stage, probably signaling producers to prepare a commercial break. But it's too late. Neither woman is backing down. Joy's lips twitch with anger, but Chaka doesn't even flinch. The more Joy pushes, the calmer Chaka gets. And that makes it worse. Joy finally snaps. She points a finger straight across the table, her voice rising. "Maybe the reason people say you're difficult is because you are." The whole room freezes. Even the audience stops breathing. Chaka stands up so fast her chair rolls backward and nearly topples. Her voice drops an octave, calm but dangerous. "Difficult? You call standing up for yourself difficult?" "No, Joy. Difficult is sitting across from someone who mistakes cruelty for confidence." Joy stands too, her face flushed red. "Don't play the victim here." Chaka steps closer, not yelling, just steady. "I'm not the victim," she says, eyes locked on Joy. "I'm the woman you just underestimated." The crowd murmurs. Someone in the back whispers, "Oh my God." Even Whoopi looks stunned. She's seen her fair share of heated interviews, but nothing like this. The two women stand there inches apart, eyes locked, neither blinking. Every camera in the studio is rolling, and in that exact moment, right before the chaos that's about to come, everyone watching knows this isn't entertainment anymore. The studio is dead silent. Only the faint hum of the lights fills the air. Whoopi, trying to save what's left of the segment, steps in with her calm, steady tone. "Ladies, let's cool it." But Joy cuts her off instantly, waving a dismissive hand. "No, Whoopi. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about ego." Chaka lets out a short, dark laugh, the kind that makes everyone nervous. "Oh, Joy," she says, shaking her head. "If ego were money, you'd be the richest woman on daytime TV." The crowd gasps and laughs nervously. Whoopi looks down, hiding a smile. Sunny tries to steer things back. "Maybe we can talk about the new album, Chaka." Joy doesn't take the hint. "No, let's talk about how she insults young artists and can't take heat." Chaka turns slowly toward her, voice low but firm. "And let's talk about hosts who build their careers by tearing others down." That lands hard. The audience doesn't even breathe. The air feels heavy. Not cold, just charged, like the seconds before a thunderstorm hits. Even the producers behind the cameras hesitate, unsure if they should cut to commercial. They know this is chaos, but it's also TV gold. Joy crosses her arms, forcing a smirk she doesn't really feel anymore. You came here to promote something, she says. Maybe try acting grateful for the exposure. Chaka stares at her, then leans back in her chair, smiling. But it's not the friendly kind. Exposure? She says slowly, letting the word hang in the air. Honey, I've been famous since before you could spell it. The line hits like a punch. The audience erupts with nervous laughter and applause. Even Whoopi can't hide it. She lets out a quiet, "Oh, damn," under her breath. But Joy doesn't laugh. She just sits there, face stiff, fingers gripping her cue cards. The smirk that's been glued to her face all morning finally fades. She realizes, for the first time, that she's losing control. And Chaka Khan, she knows it. The lights feel hotter. The silence feels longer. The atmosphere is thick. The kind of tension you can feel in your chest. The crowd isn't even clapping anymore. They're just watching, frozen, waiting for what happens next. Chaka leans forward, voice calm but razor sharp. You think I need your approval, Joy? I came here out of respect for this platform, for the idea of a real conversation. You turned it into a firing squad. Joy fires back immediately, trying to sound in control. You turned it into drama. Chaka doesn't flinch. She just smiles slightly, the kind of smile that says she's not afraid anymore. No, Joy. The truth is, you just can't stand it when someone doesn't fold under your pressure. A ripple runs through the audience. You can hear the reaction, that sharp mix of gasps and murmurs. Even the camera operators stop moving for a second. They know what's happening here. The camera pans to Joy, her jaw tight, her eyes narrowing, that usual confidence slipping away. For the first time, she looks like she doesn't have a line ready. She's rattled, and everyone sees it. Chaka sits back, still calm, her voice cutting through the silence. You hide behind tough questions like armor, she says quietly. But what you really fear is anyone who challenges you. The room goes still. Joy doesn't speak. She just stares, blinking slowly, caught between shock and anger. It's the kind of silence that feels like it lasts forever. Then finally Joy hisses, You're out of line. Chaka doesn't raise her voice. She doesn't even blink. She just says it, soft, steady, and final. And you're out of depth. That one line hangs in the air like a verdict. Whoopi's hand goes to her mouth. Sarah looks down. Sunny exhales quietly, muttering, Oh my God. It's the moment everyone realizes the balance has shifted. The guest isn't defending herself anymore. She's taking back the stage. And Joy Behar, for once, doesn't know where to go from here. By now, the studio doesn't feel like a talk show anymore. It feels like a courtroom, and every eye in the room is waiting for the final sentence. Joy Behar, red-faced and shaking, finally snaps. Get out, she spits, her voice cracking. If you can't be civil, you can leave. For a split second, silence. Then Chaka laughs. Not a nervous laugh, not even an angry one. It's sharp, fearless, and echoes across the stage. Civil? She repeats, shaking her head. You think civility means sitting quiet while you insult me? Without breaking eye contact, she reaches for her mic, unclips it, and lets it fall onto the desk. The sound, that hard metallic clack, hits like a gavel, a verdict. Let me help you, Joy, she says, calm but cutting. Civility isn't silence. It's respect, something you clearly forgot how to show. Joy's finger trembles as she points toward the exit. Security, she calls out, trying to sound in control but failing. A couple of stage hands start to move. But before they can take a step, Whoopi Goldberg's voice cuts through the tension. Hey, nobody touches her. The crowd breaks into murmurs. Some gasp, some cheer softly. Even the crew doesn't know what to do. They're watching live television history unravel in real time. The moment a music legend decides she's had enough. Chaka turns halfway toward the exit, then stops. The studio holds its breath. She looks back at Joy, her voice steady, not angry anymore, just truthful. You think being mean makes you smart, she says, every word slow and deliberate. But it just makes you mean. The words hang in the air like a thunderclap. The audience gasps. Joy freezes, eyes wide, mouth open. No comeback this time. That's the dagger. Clean, precise, irreversible. Chaka gives one final look, Not bitter, not triumphant. Just done. Then she walks away, head high, her purple dress flowing behind her like a royal cape. The audience erupts, not in cheers but in stunned whispers. Phones are already up. Hashtags are being born in real time. At that table, Joy Behar stands alone, silent, her own words still echoing back at her, but now stripped bare. No laughter, no applause, just the weight of what she started. And for the first time that morning, the view truly lives up to its name, because everyone watching just saw Joy Behar for who she really is. The moment Chaka walks off, the room erupts into pure chaos. Producers rush onto the stage, headsets buzzing. The audience is still in shock, half whispering, half filming, not sure if they just watched history or disaster. Whoopi shakes her head, mumbling under her breath. That wasn't an interview. That was an ambush. Joy sits frozen in her chair, trying to act like nothing happened. She looks at the camera, forces a smile, and says quietly, "Well, that was something." But her hands are trembling under the table. Her voice cracks. She knows what's coming. The wave she can't stop. Within hours, the internet catches fire. Clips from every angle flood social media. Tweets, TikToks, and headlines roll in faster than producers can breathe. By evening, hashtags explode. Hashtag Chaka vs. Joy. Hashtag Respect the Legends. Hashtag Mina's not smart. People aren't arguing about whether it was staged. They know it wasn't. They saw Joy lose control. They saw Chaka stand her ground. And in that instant, it's clear who walked out looking smaller and who walked out looking untouchable. Overnight, clips of Chaka's mic drop spread everywhere. Millions of views, thousands of comments. News outlets replay the confrontation on loop. Joy Behar crosses the line, Chaka Khan walks out in power. Morning shows dissect it, podcasts debate it, and fans flood comment sections with one clear message: respect the legends. And when Chaka finally speaks about it in a later interview, she doesn't rant or relive it. She just says, calm and honest. When you stop mistaking cruelty for honesty, that's when you grow. That line goes viral all over again. It becomes a quote, a meme, a message, something bigger than the argument itself. Because that day, Chaka didn't just walk off a set, she walked out with her dignity intact and left behind a lesson that echoed louder than any standing ovation. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a like. It really helps the channel grow. Tell us in the comments what you think. Did Joy go too far, or did Chaka do exactly what needed to be done? And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss another explosive moment like this one. Thanks for watching. And trust me, the next story hits even harder.